It was raining that morning, the kind of soft, cruel rain that feels like the world's trying to wash you away. Mom said it was a fresh start. Your father would have wanted this, she told me, her voice trembling as she pushed me toward the gates of Maple Elite Academy, the school that looked more like a royal palace than a place for teenagers. I didn't belong here. I knew it the second my shoes touched the marble floor. Everywhere I looked were designer bags, manicured hands, and eyes that could slice you in half with a glance. Money hung in the air like perfume. I clutched my fencing bag, my father's old gear, and tried to breathe. Then it happened. A shoulder slammed into mine, hard enough to spill my coffee across my uniform. The laughter that followed was sharp and cold. Watch where you're going next time, huh? When I looked up, I saw him, Rowan Calloway. He was everything this school worshipped. Tall, confident, handsome in a dangerous kind of way. The kind of boy whose smile could ruin lives. You should feel honored, he said, smirking. Not everyone gets baptized by the Rowan Calloway. I froze, half in shock, half in fury. You want to say that to my face? His grin widened. Looks like the new girl's got claws. Something in me snapped. Arrogant douchebag, I muttered, pushing past him. Never show your face to me again. For a second, I thought I saw surprise flash in his eyes. But then came the laughter. The whole hallway watched as I stormed away, the scholarship girl who dared to talk back to the untouchable prince of Maple Elite. I ducked into the bathroom, trying to blot out the stain on my uniform. My reflection looked small, pathetic. Then a soft voice behind me said, "Hey, you okay?" A girl held out a spare t-shirt. She smiled, warm, real. "I'm Hazel. Hazel Jones." That was the first real kindness I'd felt in that place. She told me everything about the Big Four, Rowan Calloway, Liam Davenport, Carl Reed, and August Langford, the heirs to the richest families in the country, the kings of Maple Elite. They own the school, she whispered. Even the teachers are scared of them. I wanted to laugh. Who gives that much power to four boys? But when I saw them walk through the courtyard, heads turning, whispers trailing behind them like smoke, I understood. They didn't just rule the school, they were the school. That afternoon, I saw Rowan again. He was shoving a smaller kid, Noah, against the lockers. I could hear the fear in Noah's voice, trembling. And before I could think, I was running. "Hey!" I shouted. "What the hell is wrong with you?" Rowan turned, surprised. "Excuse me?" "You heard me," I said. "Picking on someone who won't even fight back? Wow, yeah, real tough guy move." A hush fell over the hallway. "You have no idea who you're talking to," he said, stepping closer. His voice was calm, too calm. "I own this school. I can do whatever I want." I stood my ground. "Yeah? You're not powerful, Rowan. You're pathetic." For a heartbeat, silence. Then his jaw clenched. "What did you just say to me?" Hazel grabbed my wrist. "Emma, stop." Rowan's eyes darkened. "All right, new girl," he said softly. "I'll remember you." He walked away, but I could feel the warning in his words. Better watch your back. That night, I lay awake, staring at the ceiling. Mom thought I was adjusting fine. She didn't know the truth that I'd just declared war on the most feared boy in school. The next morning, I found my locker vandalized, red paint dripping across it. The word trash. Chelsea, Amy, and Vera, the girls who worshipped the Big Four, cornered me by the fountain. "You think you're special because Rowan noticed you?" Chelsea sneered. "You're just trying to get his attention." "Guess what?" I said, brushing past them. "I'm not interested in boys who think they own the world." The slap came before I saw it. My cheeks stung. Laughter echoed. Then someone shoved me into the fountain. I climbed out, soaked, humiliated, and shaking, but not broken. That evening, when Rowan walked past me on the steps, our eyes met for the first time since that day. He didn't say a word, but there was something unreadable in his gaze, something between curiosity and regret. I didn't know it then, but that moment was the spark that would burn through everything that came after. Maple Elite wasn't just a school. It was a battlefield, and I had just stepped into the center of the storm. When you stand up to someone like Rowan Calloway, you expect things to get ugly. What I didn't expect was for the entire school to turn on me. By Monday morning, the whispers had teeth. "She's obsessed with him. She's doing it for attention. The scholarship girl thinks she's special." I told myself I didn't care, but every laugh cut a little deeper. Then came the pranks. My shoes glued to the floor during fencing practice. A snake in my locker. a real one, coiled and furious. And every time I thought I'd hit my limit, I'd find Rowan watching from a distance, that unreadable smirk on his face. He wanted to break me. He wanted me to beg, but I didn't, because every bruise, every humiliation, every whispered insult reminded me of something my dad once said. Courage isn't not being afraid, Em. It's standing tall even when you are. So I fought back. Literally. When Rowan's latest prank sent a bucket of paint crashing over my head in front of half the cafeteria, I marched straight to him. He didn't even look surprised. "Something you want to say, Parker?" he said lazily, surrounded by his friends. I slammed the bucket on the table. Paint splattered across his perfect shirt. "Yeah," I said. "Grow up." For a second, silence. Then he laughed. Not cruelly, not mockingly, just genuinely. "You've got guts," he said, eyes glittering. "Most people would have transferred by now. Maybe you should have. Maybe I should have," I shot back. "But I'm not like most people." That was the moment something shifted. He didn't smile like a prince anymore. He looked confused, human. Later that week, Hazel pulled me aside. "Emma, you've got to be careful. Rowan's different around you. The big four are losing control. Even August's keeping his distance from him." "Good," I said. "Maybe they'll finally see who he really is." But I wasn't sure I saw him clearly anymore. Because that afternoon, I caught Rowan behind the gym, kneeling on the ground, gently untangling a frightened kitten from a fence. He didn't notice me until the kitten ran free. "Oh, it's you," he muttered, brushing dirt from his hands. "Don't read too much into it. I'm not some hero." I didn't say you were. But the way he looked at that kitten, soft, protective, made my heart stumble in my chest. I hated that feeling. Then, everything exploded. Chelsea and her clique cornered me after class. "Rowan told us to make you apologize," they sneered. "On your knees, scholarship trash." They shoved me against the wall, nails digging into my arms. Before I could react, a voice thundered, "Leave her alone." August Langford, quiet, artistic August, stood there, eyes blazing. "You lay another hand on her, and I swear." The girls scattered. When it was over, he turned to me. "You okay?" I nodded, shaken. "Thank you." "No one deserves that," he said softly. "Especially not you." That night, I found my locker open again. But this time a single white rose sat inside. No note, just the flower. The next day, Rowan approached me. He looked different, tired. "Those girls went too far," he said quietly. "That wasn't what I wanted." I crossed my arms. "Really? Because you've done worse," he sighed. "Yeah, I know." Something in his voice, the way it cracked at the edges, didn't sound like the bully everyone feared. It sounded like a boy who'd forgotten how to be anything else. Still, I didn't let my guard down. "Apology accepted," I said, "but don't think this changes anything." His mouth curved. "Oh, it changes everything." After that, the tension between us felt electric. In fencing class, our blades would clash and stay locked too long. In the hallways, his gaze followed me. Not hateful anymore, but hungry for something he couldn't name. And when I snapped at him for hovering, he only grinned. "You keep saying you hate me," he murmured, stepping close enough that I could feel the warmth of his breath, "but you keep finding me." "I'm not the one following anyone," I said. "Maybe," he whispered, "but you're the only one who can make me stop." I wanted to shove him away. Instead, I froze. Because his eyes, the ones that once terrified me, looked almost scared. A week later, everything changed again. The homecoming dance. I hadn't planned to go until Hazel convinced me. I showed up in a simple green dress, borrowed shoes, and a little courage. The moment I walked in, laughter rippled through the crowd. Chelsea, Amy, and Vera had set me up, told me the wrong dress code. Everyone else sparkled in black and silver. I stood there, humiliated again. Then Rowan's voice cut through the noise. "Enough." He stepped between me and the crowd. "From this point forward," he said, eyes hard, "no one touches Emma Parker. She's under my protection." Gasps, murmurs. He turned to me, softer now. "You look beautiful," I swallowed. "Don't." "I'm not kidding." And before I could stop him, he offered his hand. "One dance." I almost said no, but his eyes were pleading, not demanding, so I took it. The music slowed. His hand rested against my back, warm, steady. For a heartbeat, everything else disappeared. The pain, the whispers, the fear. Just him and me. Maybe it was the lights, or the music, or the way he looked at me like I was the only real thing in his perfect, empty world. But something inside me shifted. Maybe he wasn't my enemy anymore. For a while, things almost felt normal. Rowan and I weren't enemies anymore. We'd talk, we'd argue, we'd laugh. God, I even started to forget why I'd hated him so much. Until the rumors came back. Pictures, lies, whispers that I'd thrown myself at him, that I was using him to climb higher. Every hallway felt like a battlefield again. I tried to ignore it, but when I saw one of the posters plastered on the lockers, my face photoshopped and cruel, I snapped. I found Rowan in the courtyard, his friends laughing over something stupid. "Was this your idea?" I shouted, shoving the photo at his chest. He looked genuinely shocked. "What the hell? No, I didn't do this." But I didn't want to hear it. "You think money fixes everything. You ruin people's lives, and then you buy your way out." Something broke in his eyes. "You still don't get it, do you? I'm not your enemy anymore." "Then act like it," I whispered and walked away. For days he tried to talk to me, but I kept running. I didn't see the danger coming, not until it was too late. It was after fencing practice. The halls were empty. That's when Noah, the same boy Rowan had bullied months ago, stepped out from the shadows. His smile was wrong, twisted. "You ruined my life," he hissed. "You made him turn on me." Before I could move, he grabbed my wrist, dragging me into an empty classroom. I fought back, but he was stronger. My scream died in my throat, then the door burst open. "Get your hands off her." Rowan. He was wild with fury, fists clenched, eyes blazing like I'd never seen. He yanked Noah away, slammed him into the wall. "Touch her again and I swear." But Noah just laughed. "Look at you, Calloway. The prince playing hero. Pathetic." They fought, fists, shouting, chaos. I screamed for them to stop, but Rowan wouldn't. Not until Noah was gone, dragged out by security. When it was over, he turned to me, blood on his lip. "Are you okay?" I nodded, trembling. "You saved me." He tried to smile. "Told you, you should have stayed away from me." Later, when we were alone in the nurse's office, I reached for his hand. "Why?" I asked. "Why do you keep doing this?" He looked at me, eyes soft for the first time. "Because somewhere between hating you and trying to forget you, I fell for you." I didn't know what to say. My heart was pounding so hard it hurt. Then he leaned in and kissed me, gentle, careful, real. And for once, I didn't push him away. But happiness doesn't last long at Maple Elite. The next day, everything spiraled. Rowan's old enemies, expelled students, the ones he'd humiliated, found us. They wanted payback. I was the bait. They cornered me behind the gym, tied my hands, sent a message. "Come alone if you want her back." I didn't think he'd come, but he did. Soaked in rain, breathing hard, eyes full of fire. "Let her go," he said. "Your fight's with me." They laughed. "Sure, after we're done teaching you what it's like to lose." They beat him, over and over, until I screamed so loud my throat burned. He kept getting up, kept standing between me and them, even when he could barely move. "Stop," I cried. "Please, you'll kill him." He turned his head, met my eyes. "I told you, I'd protect you." Then everything went black. When I woke up, there were sirens. He was on the ground, covered in blood. His name echoed in my head, Rowan, 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 until it didn't sound real anymore. At the hospital, the doctor's words felt like knives. "Severe trauma. We're not sure if he'll wake up." I sat beside him for hours. His hand was cold. "You idiot," I whispered. "You're supposed to be invincible. You're supposed to drive me crazy, not—" My voice broke. "Please wake up. I never got to tell you that I—" A weak laugh cut me off. "I knew you liked me," I gasped. His eyes were open, glassy but alive. "You're such an idiot," I sobbed, half laughing, half crying. "Yeah," he murmured, "but I'm your idiot." He reached for me, fingers brushing mine. "So, are you finally going to admit it?" I shook my head, smiling through tears. "You almost died, and that's what you're thinking about?" He grinned, weak but defiant. "I don't lose easy." I leaned closer. "Then don't lose me." And I kissed him, really kissed him this time. The monitors beeped faster, matching the rhythm of my heart. When I pulled away, his eyes were still closed, but his smile stayed. "Guess that means yes," he whispered. "It's been months since that night." Rowan's still recovering, but he's different now, calmer, quieter, human. Sometimes we sit under the old maple tree near the courtyard, where everything started. He'll joke, "You still think I'm pathetic?" And I'll laugh. "No, just stubborn." I look back at the girl I was that first day, the one who thought Maple Elite was hell. I didn't know then that it would be the place where I'd lose everything I thought I knew about people and find something real. Not power, not money, not revenge. Love, the kind that terrifies you, changes you, saves you. And even now, when the wind rushes through the courtyard, I still hear his voice. Better watch your back, Parker. And I smile, because now I know he never meant it as a threat. He meant it as a promise. If you enjoyed the story, please like, share, and subscribe.